Happy New Year, everyone! Hope your holiday season was great. Today we start with something interesting because today Tara gonna lead the class and today's video. So Tara, please explain to us what are we gonna do today.
So today we're going to be starting the new year off with a big bang. So we're going to try Puzzle Street. So today's class is all about working on your puzzles and understanding how you can use these strategies when you solve your puzzles. So we'll be solving a couple of puzzles, and then after that we will do Puzzle Storm, where we can test how many puzzles we can solve in a minute. So
Hmm.
today's class is just showing you the different opportunities you can take to improve your chess. So let's start. So here, this is the first position. It's
Uh-huh.
black to move, and we don't have any information about what topic it is, if it's a checkmate. We just need to look at the position and try to find the best move. So Yulia, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, so as I can see, the last move for white was rook probably captures some black piece on g5. And I think we have to get the rook back, but we have two possible captures, to capture with a pawn or to capture with a rook. So probably we have to choose which one is the best. I have a feeling that it's much better to take with the rook, because then it would be check for the king, and same time we attack the white bishop. So this is how we can get an extra piece. So I would say I want to play rook takes g5 check.
Yeah, so when you play rook takes g5 check, the rook is attacking the king and the bishop at the same time. And if you recall, that's called a fork. So we have, and not only do we capture a free rook, but we're also going to be getting a bishop in on the next move. So good job,
Hmm.
everyone. So
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
one, I
new
encourage
puzzle.
you all to pause the video and see if you can find the answer. Okay, so now that we've given them a couple seconds, Yulia, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, of course, I found it pretty fast, so I
Good.
think that the answer is pretty obvious.
Yeah, so if you look for your checks, you can see that the queen can come to d7. And not only is this a check, but it's also a checkmate. So again, whenever you have a position, look for all your pieces and think about the different things they can do. The rook can't do anything special because it doesn't have any checks, it doesn't have anything to capture. But the queen has this check on d7. So it's it's special because it's just a checkmate. So queen to d7, yes, is the correct move. Okay,
Okay.
now let's move on to the next puzzle. So here again, it's black to move, and give yourself a couple seconds and see if you can find the answer for this one. Okay, so if you looked at the checks, captures, and threats, you've probably noticed that the knight and bishop are near the king, and they have a really good check. If the knight on b4 goes to a2, that's actually a checkmate. So with just these two pieces, we make a checkmate. The knight attacks the king, and the bishop controls these two light squares.
Yeah, so just made in one, and now it's a new puzzle. Yeah, black just played 94. Interesting. What should we do after this? So white to move, as I can see.
Yeah, so do you have any ideas about this position?
I do.
Okay, so what are your ideas?
Okay, so as I can see, like I don't see mate in one, I don't see any good checks, but I think that should be enough for us maybe to play rook to d8 to win the black queen.
Uh-huh. So this is another kind of tactic. This one is called a pin, and here, if instead of moving the pieces, try to imagine this with your mind. So if the rook goes to d8, you can see that behind the queen is the king. And if the queen tries to move away, the king would be in a check, and that's against the rules. And so there's two types of pins, absolute pin and a relative pin. And this one is an absolute pin because in absolute pins, the piece behind it is always the king. Here you can see the piece behind it is the king. And so that's what qualifies this for an absolute pin. But if the piece behind it is not the king, then it will be called a relative pin. So yeah, we move our queen, we move our rook to d8. Now the queen doesn't have anything good to do. So the best thing you can do is capture the rook for a couple points. Instead of losing it entirely, Black just wants to capture something. And now you can probably see that the next move is very obvious. You capture back the queen and you win the material. Okay, we're
Oh,
back. And this is the fourth recording. So here it's white to move. And you can see black has just given a check with the pawn on c3. So take a minute and see if you can figure out the correct move. Okay, so you probably noticed that these two pawns are pretty close to the first ring. And we don't want the pawns to get there because then they'll promote and probably turn into a queen. So I don't really want to move my king back to c1 or d1 because the pawns will get even closer. But instead, I'll just capture off one of these pawns. Do you think that sounds good?
I think so, but I think this position also is a little bit tricky, so you can't just capture the pawn immediately. You
Oh,
have to
right.
calculate, because
Yeah.
after king takes d3, probably black gonna play pawn c2. Yeah.
Yeah.
After pawn c2, we don't have any check, and of course we can't use our knight to stop the pawn from getting to c1. So I suppose like you can make a first move like king takes d3. And I also want to say several words after it. So,
Yeah, so I think, yeah, you're right. If you just play king takes d3, then the pawn will try to promote, and then weren't able to successfully stop the pawn.
no,
So,
actually, we will be able. I just want to say that in
oh,
this position, we have just to make some, like, not long, but 3, 4 moves calculations. Yeah, so in this position, how could we stop the pawn? The only move that I see is to play king to d2. Yeah, but don't make a move, please.
okay.
Give me a second. So after king d2, yeah, if black doesn't want our king to block the pawn with king c1, so after king d2, king b2 could be played. Yeah, that would be nice if you make some arrows. Yeah, white plays king
Uh-huh.
d2 and black plays king b2. Our knight is still too far away to stop the pawn from getting to c1, but while the black king is on b2, we have a check. It's knight c4. Yeah? If black doesn't want to lose the pawn, probably black has to play king to b1. And after this, we have a fork. That would be nice if you pause the
We
video, try
do.
to picture the position, and think what to do after king b1. So you see the first move, king takes d3, is pretty obvious, but you still have to calculate and you have to be sure that you stop the pawn.
Yeah, so the move I suppose you're thinking of is knight to a3, attacking the king and the pawn. And then once the king moves, you can capture the pawn, correct?
Yeah, so let's move the pieces. Let's see if we're
Okay.
right.
Yeah, so let's play king to d2. Then we can play,
Knight check. I don't see any other
yes,
good
knight.
moves.
Oh,
Oh,
it ended over there. So
yeah.
just wanted to go back and
Hmm.
tell the audience a couple things. So you can see how my first move, I thought it was okay, but I didn't calculate until the end. And sometimes chess players can make the mistake. You see a good move, but you don't finish it until the ending analysis. So instead of doing that when you solve puzzles, you should once when you want to analyze a move, analyze it until the very end, and then you can figure out if it's good or not. And as you can see, this is actually the best move, because if you had played this, the pawn would advance, this would happen, and black is going to promote. So yes, you're right.
Yeah, in
Okay,
chess, like sometimes we have to listen to our intuition, but it's better if you're gonna like like gonna trust your calculations. So it's the best way.
right, exactly. Okay, so now we're on with our fifth puzzle. It's black to move. And pause the video instead of looking at the solution first. Please pause the video. Once you've come up with the solution, you can come back. Okay, so as always, we encourage you to look for checks, captures, and threats. We don't
Hmm.
have any good checks here, but this is a potential capture. So let's take a look at it. I capture the queen, and the rook captures back. Do you think I got anything special out of that? Not really. It was just kind of a queen trade. But take a look at what's defending the queen. Here, the rook is guarding the queen. So if we can make the rook not guard the queen, then we can capture the queen for free. So the correct solution here is rook to e1, and then now the rook has no choice but to capture. And we'll take a look at what happens if the king moves after. So if the
Hmm.
rook captures, we capture the queen for free.
Yeah, so we
And
just want to
if,
deflect the rook.
yeah, and let's say if the king moves here, well, we can't win the queen, but we can still win material. So after rook to e1 and king to h2, we could play queen captures d3, and then after the rook captures our queen back, you can see we can capture the rook on a1 here. So both
Yeah,
variations are good. We can play rook to e1. If the queen moves here, we just capture. If the
yeah,
rook captures, we take the queen. And if the king moves away, what we do now is we capture the queen, and once it takes back, we take the rook. So
I
let's try
agree.
it.
Just capture.
Yay, we've gotten the rook.
Hmm.
So hopefully you've been able to follow along and you've been able to get the correct solutions. So if you would like to try puzzles like this to greatly enhance your chess skills, you can go to leechess.org, you go to puzzles, and then you go to puzzle streak. And here we have a puzzle streak of 6. So the goal is to try to get as many puzzles as you can correctly. And remember,
Yeah,
there's no time for this. So you don't need to worry about going fast or anything. You can take your time, take it slow, look for all the possible candidate moves, analyze those until the end, and then you can find the correct solution. So hopefully these puzzles have given you an understanding of how to solve this in Lichess, and hopefully it gives you the motivation to try something like this on your own. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at what to do without the time, now I'd like to look at Puzzle Storm. And here you can see
oh,
we actually have a time. We have a 3-minute timer, and we're trying to see how many we can get right. And I really like this distinction between Puzzle Streak and Puzzle Storm, because with Puzzle Streak you can improve your chess skills. You can take all the time you want in the world, look for all the moves, analyze those without any pressure. And then here in Puzzle Storm, the conditions are set to kind of a real chess game. You're on
yeah,
a
when you
time.
also have to value your time. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
spend like 30 minutes on syncing if you have just 2 minutes on your clocks.
yeah. So exactly. Just if you just do Puzzle Streak without, so my point is, in Puzzle Storm, you get to try it like a real chess game. You're against the clock, you have to think, and you have to come up with the best moves. But also, accuracy matters. So here, accuracy and speed matters. It's not just speed and it's not just accuracy, it's both. But in Puzzle Streak, it was accuracy only because there wasn't any time. So here it's like a real chess game. So I feel like this one will also teach you the skills of how to calculate under pressure. So we have a 3-minute timer, and we're trying to see how many puzzles you can get correct. And if I get a puzzle wrong, then I lose 10 seconds. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how this works. And then after the video, I encourage you to try both the Puzzle Streak and Puzzle Storm on their own. And we'll put the link to both of those in the description box down below. So let's start. We have 3 minutes, and I'm trying to solve as many as I can correctly. 3,
So let's
2,
go.
1, go.
Okay, the
Okay.
next one. Queen b5 and mate in 1. Okay. Discovered attack was, oh, I know. Mate in 2.
Okay. Let's go here. Huh.
Interesting puzzle.
I'm not gonna rush
I
because
guess.
I know accuracy matters as well. So I'm gonna take my time. If I capture this, maybe the knight will capture it with a check. So I'm not too sure actually.
So let's think.
I think I'll try this.
Okay, so.
Oh, I got it right.
Yeah, mate in 2.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wins the queen. Nice.
Okay, here is
The 7th rank. Oh, wins the queen.
uh-huh.
Wins the queen.
Okay, this one. Oh.
Because mate on c7.
Now this one.
You see how is important this diagonal. Extra material. Discovered attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, discovered attack again.
Now this one.
How to win something. Yeah, and you still get the queen.
Okay.
What to do here?
Oh, I did something wrong. That's okay though.
F7. Yeah, it's okay to like make some mistakes. Maybe
what
we
could
can
this
win
one be?
a pawn or even 2 pawns, I guess. So.
Oh yeah.
And.
Okay, so
Oh, I
yeah.
think it's a great result.
Yeah, so as you can see, since it's the first time I've done it in a while, I focus on the accuracy more because if I just focus on the speed, it's not really going to improve my chess skills. So I tried to focus on speed and accuracy as well. So if you would like to do these ones, then you can go to Puzzle and Puzzle Storm. That's how you can get this. And if you want to try the one we did before, which is Puzzle Streak, you go to Puzzles and Puzzle Streak. So hopefully this helped you. My hope is that it showed you a couple great resources to practice your chess skills. Puzzles are a great way to improve because you'll be looking at different positions. You'll be looking at tactics, combinations, weak squares, checkmates, all kinds of stuff. So it's like combining a bunch of chess different tactics into puzzles. So
Yeah.
I highly encourage you to try both the Puzzles Streak and Puzzle Storm after this video. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found it informative. If you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to others. I'll see you on my next video. Bye!
Bye.